Aloha, and welcome to this month's episode of KNTK Productions, a monthly show where we'll bring you stories of our community, brought to life by youth voices. This month, our show is centered around love, inspired by the Valentine's Day holiday, a day to celebrate love regardless of your relationship status. To start off this month's show, we have a video featuring the only theater open on Kauai in Waimea.
The theater is pretty much one of the cornerstone businesses of Waimea, and especially the west side. I mean, now that we're the only theater on Kauai, it's kind of becoming a cornerstone for the kind of like the whole island.
On the west side of Kauai, the historical Waimea Theater continues to serve the community as a hub and place of entertainment since opening in 1938.
I think we pride ourselves and we integrate ourselves with the community as much as we can, doing special events and community meetings and whatnot for nonprofit organizations here. So I think we're pretty integrated within the community.
However, over the decades, Waimea Theater has had their share of hardships as competing theaters open around the island.
Business was kind of all right. You know, we were kind of surviving, doing special events and whatnot. We weren't going in the red, but we were just on that borderline between red and black, making some profit.
Already facing trying times, the Waimea Theater hit a new low with the COVID-19 lockdown, doing what they could to stay open for the community.
It kind of gave people hope, I think, because like they could still do stuff and they could go places and grab popcorn and go home and watch a movie,
The community came out and supported us, helped us, come and clean and to help this theater survive that period during the pandemic.
With a new sense of hope and support from the community, the Waimea Theater was able to stay afloat until they could receive their grant aid, surviving competing theaters who shut down amidst the pandemic.
Creating those relationships in the community and the relationships, the community will come out and support you when you're in need. And now being the only theater on Kauai, business has probably tripled in attendance and other special events and community events have also doubled in the past year and a half.
With business booming and community support, the show goes on for the theater with no sign of a final bow. This is Taika Chihara from Kauai High School for Hikino on PBS Hawaii.
Living in a close-knit island community, you can feel the love all around. So we went around our school campus to ask students about things that they love. Ready? What is something you love?
Playing basketball.
Awesome. Why do you like playing basketball?
Because I get to play as a team and I enjoy playing basketball.
Awesome. Thank you. What is something you love?
I love playing sports and hanging out with my friends.
Why do you like doing that?
I like doing it because I just think it's really fun and it's like helped me through a lot. So,
Okay. What is something you love?
My friends and playing basketball.
Why do you love those things?
Because it's something I've always, basketball is something I've always done and something that I kind of grew up with and people recognize me from it. And then my friends are just because they're videoing me right now. If you turn the camera, you can see them.
Yeah. I think we got to interview Ryan afterwards.
What is something you love?
Well, I love eating.
Why do you love eating?
Well, it fills me up with joy.
Awesome, me too. I can definitely relate. Thank you. What is something you love?
Kainalu.
Why do you love Kainalu?
Okay. Because it's Kainalu.
Okay, thanks. What is something you love?
Brian.
Why do you love Brian?
He's my best friend.
Awesome. Okay. What is something you love?
Brian.
Why do you love Brian?
Because he's my boy.
Awesome.
That's like the third one.
What is something you love?
The beach,
Why do you love the beach?
because it's fun and I can go swim and bodyboard.
Fun. Thank you. To wrap up this month's show, we have another story centered around love for the island. This video shares one conservationist's love for her work and for the environment.
However you can get those invasive species out, keep them controlled, you've got to be at it day in, day out.
Helen Rain has worked on conservation efforts for birds all around the world. Now working in the islands with native water birds, she is helping to take on a long-standing shift in the Hawaiian ecosystem.
If you think about where we are on the map, where this isolated landmass was so far from the mainland, we're a long way from the next island chain. And so all the species here evolved in isolation. So there were no mammalian predators. Things came here by waves, so they came on the sea, maybe floating, or on the wings of birds.
Other than the monk seal and the hoary bat, there were no other mammals before humans arrived. These introduced mammals would become predators that would forever change the lives of the birds.
For the seabirds and the water birds, it's mainly rats, so they take the eggs, and then cats. So outdoor cats are a massive problem. We have an estimated 20,000 outdoor feral cats without owners on the island, and they do cause a lot of impacts for our native birds.
Through collaborative work, there have been great triumphs for native birds on Kauai.
Well, I think we've seen an impressive upward trajectory, you know, from 15 NA to 3,000 and from 60 Aleula to 1,000. That's down to the government agencies and nonprofits really focusing on habitat, like getting good refuges.
But experts like Helen aren't the only ones who are able to help. Members of the community can jump in to help break down barriers and allow the birds to thrive.
One is that cats belong indoors. So it's a bit of a mindset change. I grew up where, you know, in the evening, we opened the door, cat went out, opened the door in the morning, cat came in. That's how a lot of people grew up. But I think we need to change our mentality. And the other thing is we need person power. Like if you're a wetland manager, you're in this constant battle against predators and invasive species. And even one person doing, you know, one Saturday a month taking out weeds can make a really huge difference.
Although invasive species attempted to extinguish their spark, people like Helen are working to reignite that flame, even lighting an unexpected one within the community of Kauai.
I think people got disconnected from the birds. And so, you know, when you're at some of these places where you can see them easily, including golf courses and water features, you know, and you see a water bird, like think about what it is and find out a bit more about it, and then read the Hawaiian history and how the Hawaiians describe those birds. You'll find yourself being a bird watcher before you know it.
This is Kate Nakamura from Kauai High School for Hiki. That's all for this month's episode of KNTK Productions. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on us and our project, please visit kntkproductions.weebly.com. Until next time, aloha.